beautiful starseed. So good to see you. I finally have audio that is working, adjusting pillows behind my back. Right, so this is just meant to be an update. And I sat here this morning, scoochy scoochie. I sat here this morning. This is my 4th attempt. Apparently Final Cut Pro does not want to work with my built-in microphone. I should probably hold this so it doesn't rattle around and bump things, which it probably has been doing. So this is just meant to be an update. This is going to go on both of my channels because I need to update about music, but I also want to update about me. So this is like a vloggy vlog. I still have bad weeks. I had a ketamine infusion in April where I spent a week at Stanford getting a very low dose, like a constant drip, extremely low dose. It was like 30 micrograms per hour. It was very small. And they only turned me up to 30. They go as high as 35, but they just left me at 30 because it seemed to be handling some of my pain issues. The pain in my feet went away within the first day, which was amazing. I still got a migraine though. I was still down for like a day and a half with a migraine because there's stupid foam pillows that they could disinfect. I should have brought my buckwheat husk pillow, but I didn't. So that was good in April. And while I was being infused, I made it a point to focus on superhighways of thought in my mind that take me to dark places that I'm trying to unravel. Part of it's tied to the grief of my mom's passing, and a lot of it's tied to the grief of me having this body and that mom. So I'm working on it. I am getting physical therapy soon for my back and my neck. So I'm super excited about that. I tried to get a referral for surgery to reverse my stoma. There are no appointments available. They had to refer me outside of the health plan, or not outside of the health plan, but outside of my medical group. And that really worried me because I don't have a straightforward case. And although I could send the hundreds of pages worth of information to them, it's like, it just seems illogical to have to get someone outside of the thing up to speed. So that probably won't happen until next year. I don't want a bag anymore. I'm spending a lot of money each month on deodorant. It's like $13 to $15 for a single bottle, an 8-ounce bottle of deodorant. And every time I dump my bag, I have to put like 8 drops or 8 squirts into the bag. So one bottle lasts me 2.5 days. That's a lot of deodorant, that's a lot of money. And there's no way to get any kind of Medicare authorization for that. It is not considered a medical necessity. Even though PEPE, because it's spicy, my little stoma, his esters are so profound, they linger. It's almost impossible to get rid of the scent. I have to go to extraordinary lengths in my home to get rid of the scent. I can't use a public bathroom unless I have deodorant because it's like sewer gas. So think about like when you drive through a neighborhood where they're working on the sewer, okay? Except it doesn't smell like sewer gas. It just has the miasma, the intensity, the fatness, the thickness, the heaviness. It's a weighty scent, like sewer gas, but it has a very chemical component, permanent wave solution. So it's a combination of those two things. And they're overpowering. And if I use a public bathroom, nobody will be able to use it. Like if I was shopping at Trader Joe's, for example, which I used to shop at. Don't like them anymore. They're kind of dicks to their employees. But I used to shop there regularly, and their little bathroom has just 2 stalls. And then there's like a hallway in the office. Then you go out into the store. Well, if I had to dump my bag in a Trader Joe's bathroom, the women's bathroom, the men's bathroom, the office, the hallway, and the entire like alcohol section would be uninhabitable for an indeterminate amount of time. I can't eat garlic. I can't eat onions, both of which I love. Garlic confounds the deodorant. I can't even, it's like, if I eat garlic, nothing impacts those, nothing. It's horrible. And it doesn't smell like garlic when it, PEPE does not put out scents that are normal, that are like food at all. Doesn't smell like food. Because I have an ileostomy, I don't have a colostomy. If I had a colostomy that was attached to my colon, then actual poop would be coming out and being put in the bag. It would just be like poop. This is not anything like poop. I have a lot of bile. It comes off of my small intestine, my small bowel. So nothing goes into my colon. So I can't reabsorb any of that, any of the juices. So it's very liquidy. and I get dehydrated really easily. So I have to be careful about that. I have to hydrate, because my body is not reabsorbing any of that. It's also not absorbing a lot of the nutrition that I take in. So I'm eating really, for the most part, very nutritious food. Pepe's picky too. He wants me to eat sweets. But he doesn't like me having alcohol, so that's good. For a while I was having to use alcohol to treat my neck pain because nothing else was helping with it. And then I discovered cannabis again. I don't like people very much anymore. In general, I love humanity. I don't really like being around people anymore. And so I'm not dating, I'm single. Been single for a long time, and I think I'm happy that way. I'm observing my visage as I'm recording to you, and I'm seeing how I'm being very critical of my appearance, and I'm like, oh, the hair's cute, even though it's kind of wonky and lopsided. This is bugging me, and all this is bugging me. I'm almost 57, so I need to just accept it. Plus, I want to lose weight. I haven't shown you my chesticles. Big old bazungas and a big old booty and a little waist. If I could, I would just get like a whole body lift. Oh, actually, if I could afford that, if I could afford a whole body lift, Jesus, with a breast reduction, big time, with a lift, and I don't care if I have scars here, because I want it pulled up. I don't want them sitting by my belly. They don't belong down there, and they're heavy. I don't like carrying them around. It's a lot of extra weight. And then when I lie down in the heat of summer, they move up to my neck. My fat flaps move up to my face to suffocate me. So I'm focusing on just taking care of my body and trying to stay out of pain. I only have a few hours every day of what I call UPTIME. Just the act of holding up my head or just being vertical exhausts me. And I carry a certain level of a pain load that I wake up with every day. Of course, it gets, as the day progresses and I'm moving around and doing things. Hairs. Ooh, wow, now it looks like it's sideways. And after a while, I can't sit up anymore. Even with an ostomy, not an ostomy, an orthopedic cushion, I still have to lie down between my neck and my lower abdomen issues. I mean, overall, my health is good, solid. I don't get sick. I just have my freaking pain condition. I'm practicing guitar. I'm trying to relearn how to play guitar and all my music, all my songs. They're all just in my head or recorded. I don't, and then I have like lyric sheets, and I never wrote down chord structure. I don't know why I didn't take that extra step of like, oh, it's D major 7th here, oh, it's G major here. So there's a lot of memory that's having to come into play that's failing me. I cannot feel the strings, so I'm having to watch my hand the whole time I play. And maybe I'll get to the point where I don't need to do that, but if I don't, then I don't know if I want to play guitar live. I mean, performing live solo is already going to be challenging for me, plus energy, plus pain, and just having to be up there all by myself. I'll have, you know, I've got like a little PA thingy, and I've got my laptop, and I'll be singing my main vocal, and I'll have like my backing vocals coming through from my computer, and some instrumental stuff would be coming through, and my intention was to sing and play guitar against it, and also sometimes percussion against it. I don't know if I'd be able to do any of that because of my hands, so that's a little freaky. I'm a little upset about that. It's just gotten so much worse. I finished TRIQUETRA, which I mispronounced. I kept calling it TRIQUETRA, but it's qua like queen, so I feel stupid. You know, it is what it is. What can you do? So I finished it. The levels on Cheating Fate are way too hot, even though I pulled it all down to 0 multiple times, so many times, and then I would like take it back. Okay, let's mix the beats. Let's mix the bass. Let's, you know, layer by layer, I would mix it all back in. There's some setting that I don't understand, so I'm learning Logic Pro. There's some setting in there where I've just got the main level boosted somehow, and I couldn't find that setting to fix it. To Live Again, totally fine. Blood and Stars, totally fine. And the Cheating Fate has to be in the middle because that's the way the story goes on the album. But it's like, okay, yeah, I'm grooving to Blood and Stars, and oh, fuck, turn it down. You know, Cheating Fate. And then, oh, what, I should live again. I gotta turn it back up. So, sorry. It is what it is. And I'm on a budget. I guess I had like a rudimentary mastering done. What I really needed was to send it to a professional or to learn to master it myself. Since I am my own record label, I've gone back to working on Undefined, which is my electronic album. I decided to do, I don't think I ever explained why I even wanted to do an electronic album to begin with. Since I don't have great keyboard skills, I can do like a very rudimentary scale on the piano, and that's it. I got inspired by what I was seeing as kind of a disco revival moment. It's possible possible that it's past, but I don't know. I think there's always room for dance music. And I've done some dance tracks before, and it wasn't intentionally. It's just that's how the music came out. So I want to try and create some things intentionally. Roshan Murphy's album, Roshan Machine. It's this amazing disco journey that's just beautiful. Well, I mean, it's dance. A lot of it is disco-y, and that's what inspired me. I'm not trying to suggest I'm on her level or anything, although if I could get myself there, that would be freaking amazing. I love her so much. I've already done one track. I really like it. It's got a really nice feel. Calling it Electric Swirl. It's not disco, it's trip hop. It's got like a skipping kind of Scooby-Doo beat, and I really like it. I've got two versions. One's longer, and I had like a vocal patch that I was punching in here and there. And after many listenings, I was like, okay, this part needs to be shorter, or this part needs to be longer, and other parts just need to be pulled out. So I've got a second version of it on my SoundCloud. So I've gotten back to working on that, and I'm feeling super uninspired. A lot of not wanting to work on it. Spending a lot of days just lying down dealing with my pain, which sucks. I would love a huge influx of cash so that I could do this properly in the way that I think is proper. Like have a marketing team, have a PR team, and have some kind of co-creator, because it's a lot to do completely on your own. And with my energy reserves being drained so often with pain, I could really use some help. Nobody's going to want to invest in the Orion music project because I can't promise delivery at a certain time. And I'd be like, all right, well, I mean, we gave her 50 grand and she gave us a dud, and fuck her, we'll put her on the shelf. You know, she can release as much as she wants, but she's going to be tied to this contract forever and ever. So then I would have to like change myself completely, create some kind of an LLC and work through that. I don't have the energy for that. If somebody wanted to invest in me and believed in the creation, I mean, I feel like I'm a good songwriter, and then I've got these other things that I'm doing with it that I think are really good and strong and important, and nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is doing what I'm doing. This is my idea of putting in like frequencies specifically to heal the listener. There are people that use magic in their music all the time, and it's generally to addict you to the creator. For example, Poppy's song Concrete. I love Poppy. I love her. Her song Concrete, that starts out, bury me 6 feet deep, bury me 6 feet deep. If you listen to the lyrics, it's a spell, and it's a very effective spell, because that song is what brought her into a whole new arena. And now she's opening for the Smashing Pumpkins. I am a flaming liberal, and I hope that people wouldn't look at that and go, I'm not going to support her at all. She's a cunt because she's a flaming liberal and she wants to just give everything away. I'm a flaming liberal because I have been experiencing this culture and realizing this culture in the United States of America, our work culture is like, well, if you got to work, they're going to make sure you work. And then those that don't have to work, they're going to make sure they never have to work. That's just my observation. My body has limited my ability to produce. Although my mother's family was upper class, my grandfather was a diplomat on my mother's side. They always lived at or near the presidential palace or at the consulate, and they always had at least one servant. She was raised by servants, basically. He had to work. He wasn't wealthy, my grandfather, although he was a diplomat. He wasn't like independently wealthy. It's not like we got money handed down through that line, but there's some aristocracy there. It doesn't count in this country. She didn't come to this country until she was in her early 20s. I think she was actually 20, almost 21, when she came to this country from Chile. And I don't know if you can see, but behind me, there's a Chilean. And I say Chilean, I'm supposed to say Chilean, whatever. Right there, there's a cowboy hat and a serape. And then the sash that the gauchos wear, Patagonia or whatever. So that's our Chilean heritage. Woo, flying our flag. The problem I see going forward is that I'm always going to end up kind of being on my own and bootstrapping it financially. I'm a slow songwriter to begin with. It takes a while for me to find really great vocal melody. I usually, like, whatever comes out first, I go, okay, that's a melodic line that should be incorporated, but then let me write a harmony to that, and then let me write a harmony to that, and then a harmony to that, and then that, and so on. So it's like at 6 or 7 iterations typically is where I finally nail down my vocal melody, because I don't want it to be the obvious thing. And that takes a while. It takes time. I only have this much theory. So I'm like plunking things out like, okay, wait, no, this is the 3rd, this is the 4th. Ooh, a suspended 7th. Yeah, let's do that. but I have to like work through it. And a lot of the time I'm doing it by ear too, although lately with my vocal reduction issues, I'm having to nail it down on the keyboard. So that's a frustration that I have, and I'm like looking that reality really in the face, going, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to perform, and it's looking like I can't make myself big enough for someone to want to sign me. Oh, but they should. Somebody should, because my music is good. My music is really good. It's good. It's good music, and nobody else is writing music with the intention of healing other people like I am. Putting in healing lyrics, empowering musical sigils. None of it's about me. I'm not making any of it about me, even though the initial story comes from me. All the magic and whatever that I'm putting into my music is for you. It's all for you. None of it's for me. And maybe that's a mistake. Maybe I should be doing some of it for me first until I get known or get going, but that's not what this lifetime is about for me, unfortunately. I have like a governor basically put on me as far as what I'm able to do. I get the impression that I've been kind of a bully in the past, and that resonates because I don't tolerate fools easily. Being petite and female in a very patriarchal society, I've had a lot of people come into my life specifically to make me small, which is super weird. I have something out here metaphysically that's gonna trigger these behaviors in other people. So I'm trying to unravel that whole mess. And in the meantime, I'm writing music that's about other people. So there's that. I don't know why I felt the need to include that in this video, but I'm gonna full-on update. Please check out my SoundCloud and let me know what you think of Electric Swirl. Both versions, I guess. Listen to TRIQUETRA because it will help you. Listen to The Story of Swallow. Listen to Reconfiguration with Dopamine. I will link to it. I will put it here. There we go. Also, listen to Deeper Understanding. I will put a link to that here also. These songs will help you, and you don't need to pay attention. Just have them playing in your field somewhere in the background. It's not meditation music. I could be making meditation music if I wanted. This is more fun. This is more interesting, and it's more challenging as a musician to like write real songs with the intention of healing people. It's all for you. Avail yourself of this material. Listen to it over and over. Absorb it, eat it up, gobble it up. Everyone can benefit from this music, and I'm going to continue writing music that are good songs with intentional healing for the listener built in. Electric Swirl does not have that yet because it is a song in progress. The world is just getting sicker. Planet is sick, she's crying, and it's hurting us all. We're all hurting. We're all in pain. I used to love driving. I don't like driving anymore, and it's not just because of gas prices and my meager living allowance, I guess, my disability, my Social Security. Tons of merch. Oh my God, my merch. Haven't even talked about my merch. I have so much cool merch. I spend a lot of time creating this merch, designing this merch to be interesting and different. I have a lot of motto wear, so it's like my logo with my motto, be the light in the darkness. Just even wearing that. I have intention work built into my logo. My logo is a sigil, and I spent a lot of time working on that, making it what it is, and it's on everything pretty much. So just even like getting into my merch will help you. They're healing. Everything that I'm doing has healing modalities built into it. So check out my merch. I have a lot of confidence in my healing ability. I understand pain. I understand psychic pain. I understand physical pain. I feel like I've got a key. So I'm handing you the key with everything I create to unlock your own psyche and unlock your own pain and help it dissipate. And then when that energy dissipates, if it's physical energy that has to come off of your body, in the case of physical pain, my intention that is in all of my work is that that energy falls away and turns into beautiful things, and specifically butterflies and bees. So disintegrating the solidity of it, having it just float away and metamorphose. That sounds horrible. It doesn't sound right. Turn into things that this world needs. Getting rid of the things this world doesn't need. The pain and the anger and the anguish and the sorrow and the aristocracy and the worker bees being crushed. It's like, we don't need any of it. Everybody just wants to be happy. Everybody wants to be loved. So let this energy coming off of you, just let it just turn into love. And it could be love for you, could be love for other people, love for mankind. Doesn't matter. Love and pollinators. Love and pollinators. Maybe that's what my electronic album will be called. It'll be a disco dance album called Love and Pollinators. Maybe I could figure out a dance. I don't know. What else? Did I mention autism? That's looking like I'm autistic. Kind of a mind blow. It makes so much sense. It explains why I'm so picky about food, why I'm picky about like texture, the way things feel. I can't stand my hands feeling dirty or oily or greasy or having anything on them. It's like when I cook, I'm washing my hands constantly because just wiping them on a towel does not do it for me. I have to actually wash them. I struggle with chapped hands and I struggle with bad cuticles. That's part of it. And then the staring, I stare a lot unblinkingly. I'm really good at it. And I'm just taking things in. I'm taking all the stuff in. I'm looking at you right now. I'm looking into you right now. Can you feel me? You should be able to feel me. Now you should be able to feel me for sure. Yeah. So I have made, when I was in school, especially in elementary school, I would just stare at people, not thinking that I'm not realizing that I'm staring, and people would be like, what? They would get in my face. And I was very small. I was very petite. I should somewhere. I have a picture album somewhere, and at one point I will do a vlog where I'm pulling out a photo and I can show you where I am with all my classmates. I'm half the size of my classmates all the way up until junior high. Then I was small, but not half the size. But in elementary school, I was usually half the size of my peers. So I got attacked a lot. I was an easy target. I had a big mouth. I still have a big mouth. Look at my Twitter feed. I have a big fucking mouth. I say what I think. I'm very direct. I think most social mores are stupid. I don't think they help people. I don't think most of what's considered courtesy or politeness helps people. I do the things that I think help people. Like, I'm naturally a courteous person, and I'm actually a kind person, even though when I'm like throwing all this stuff at you, it sounds like I'm not. It sounds like I'm a dick. I'm a dick on Twitter. I'm kind of a dick on social media, I guess, but because I'm direct. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm trying to I call shit out. I speak truth to power all the time on Twitter. I'm on lists somewhere, I know. I don't have a lot of followers, but I'm actually thinking about lists, Twitter lists. I'm on a lot of Twitter lists, which is kind of funny. Yoko Ono follows me. Okay, shit. Do I want to say this? I think I want to say this. I think she stole one of my ideas. But I have zero way of proving it because the thing that I created doesn't exist anymore. I destroyed it. What is it? Why did I even bring it up? A good friend of mine died suddenly, and it was so gut-wrenching that I just had this sadness. So what did I call the song? I called it The Unspeakable Sadness. All I did was publish it to my WordPress site at the time, which has since been deleted and demolished, and I can't even find it on the Wayback Machine. But it was The Unspeakable Sadness. It was like this 10, 11... Did I say SAB-MESS? SAB-MESS? SAB-MESS. Sadness. I think I've lost some tongue acuity. Chemo. It was a 10 or 11 minute long thing that was very discordant and heavy. And I had very unpleasant sounding vocal effects. I had pitch shifted myself, so you hear my main vocal, but then there's a harmony of it that's pitch shifted really low and spooky. And then as I'm doing it, at one point, I just break down and start sobbing. And I openly sobbed for several minutes on the song with the music. Bom, 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 this dirge underneath. And then I'm sobbing. It helped me get some of that energy out of my body. Well, within the year of my having done that, Yoko Ono puts out a song where she's crying on the song. And then her followers on Twitter are like, oh, it's so brave of you to share this pain with us. And my first thought was, bitch, I already did that. But I couldn't. I had all. Yeah, the unspeakable sadness, crying, autism. Staring, openness, trying to pick up guitar, nerve damage, chemo damage, brain damage. I have requested to be referred to a specialist for my brain. I am concerned. I want to look at the possibility of having early onset dementia. I want to rule that out. because I'm extremely forgetful and I have a hard time searching for words, or I'll forget a thought and I cannot find it again. Since my chemo, it's like I haven't recovered completely. I had a grandparent on each side of my family get Alzheimer's and ultimately not able to care for themselves. So being almost 57, with my birthday on Thanksgiving, wish me a happy birthday as you toast on that day. And thank you for wishing me a happy birthday on that day. See, now I forgot my thought. I need to rule it out. If it's just nerve damage from chemo, fine. But I need to rule out that it's not something more. Because if I get treatment for it now, I'll be okay. And since it looks like I'm going to be single for the rest of my life, I need to take care of myself as long as possible. Go to my website, AURYAUNS.SPACE. Used to be AURYAUNS.band because I was trying to create community and come join the band. Didn't work. And now I've changed it to Space to try and help people clue them in a little bit as to how Orion is actually pronounced. I realize it is a dumb spelling. I'm not going to change it. Did I even go into like how the whole... Oh, maybe that should be another video. I was in, I want to say 6th grade. Or it was like the summer of my 6th grade year. I was about to go into middle school. I was hanging out with my best friend. Her neighbor, she kept telling me her neighbor was her cousin. And they were renting a place next door. But it was like a distant cousin, I guess. Because she also like had this crush on this person. And was always talking about like, oh my God, I can't wait till you meet him. He's so cute. And he's so this and he's so that. So I'm hanging out there and he comes to visit, knock, knock, knock. Well, we don't open the door. We don't let him in. We don't come out. We talk to him through the window of her brother's bedroom that was right next to the front door. You know how you have side lights on a door sometimes? It was almost like that, but it was an actual window that opened that was part of a bedroom. So both of us were kind of crowded in front of this little narrow window, and he looks around, my friend, and he sees me and he goes, oh, you must be blah, my given name. It's not a huge secret, but I'm Orion. I'm doing the Orion project. So he says, you must be blah. I don't know, uppity. See, patriarchy. Patriarchy. Fucking patriarchy. Why? We don't use the word uppity when it comes to men. It's only a woman word. So I felt slightly offended. Like, no, how dare you presume to know who I am? So there was a star map. The reason it's important that we were in her brother's bedroom was because her brother had a map of the galaxy, or a map of the constellations. Orion is one of the most highly prominent ones in the autumn when I was born. So I've always really related to it. Its visibility, and you could see it move through the sky when you're out late. And the story, I always found the story very compelling. And I have a thing about like the Titans and the old gods and the mythos of that. So I've been tapping into that a lot in my energetic work. Gaia is hurting. Let's bring back the Titans and restore order. I got a little impetuous and I glanced to my right and was reminded of the constellation Orion. And I said, no, I'm not blah, I'm Orion. He's like, what? I've never heard of you. Yeah, I'm a twin. And my friend at first is looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? What do you know? What are you're going to crazy town again? But then played along, which was fucking awesome. So this was a caper that, with the help of my best friend, that we kind of pulled on this guy all summer long, where I was either myself or I was Orion. And so, you know, I'd be hanging out and he'd be like, well, so which one are you? Oh, I'm such and such. But it was like a whole cell job that I had to do on this guy. And I have twins that run in my family. So I was pulling out baby pictures and like toddler pictures of other twin pairs in my family, saying it was me and Orion. I adopted mannerisms that were slightly different from when I was me or when I was Orion. So that's where it comes from. I'm not changing the spelling because it's a thing. It's a thing for me. It's a thing from my life that means a lot. And it needs to be spelled the way that it's spelled because that was part of the caper. Go to AURYAUNS.SPACE. Check out my merch. I've got my fall collection in there right now. I have bombers and hats and beanies and get a t-shirt, tumblers. I have a gym bag and I've got leggings, really cool leggings. And I've spent a lot of time working on that all. So please avail yourself of all of my products, all of the things that I am making. Not for me, for you. They're for you so that you can have a better life. You can feel better. You can be healed. Go to AURYAUNS.SPACE. Buy my music, stream my music, preferably on Apple, because Spotify pays shit to individual creators like me. I'm not signed to a major label. I would get paid well if I were. Apple, however, pays the same to everyone. So go to Apple if you want to stream it. It will help you. I really need this world to be better. And it's not just me anymore. Those of us who are sensitive, that have like been fucking beleaguered for years now because the world is fucked up and painful to be in. So those of us who are sensitive and who have the skills to heal it, and we're all hiding in our homes. Those people who have still been able to be out there in the world doing things, they are also now damaged and fucked up and hurting. So I wrote a blog post about it. The shortest point, you know, I want to go from A to B, and I want to do it. I don't want to do it one by one anymore. I want to just everybody. I bid you farewell. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful day, week, month, life, until I see you again, which hopefully will be soon. Mwah!